Hey guys, first of all, I want to tell you how thankful I am to be a pastor of a gathering who love and accepts all people, regardless of race or national origin. At Christway, we're seeing a lot of new people from every race and every country. And that is because of your love for people. Let's be praying for our country during this time of unrest. It's about coming together as God's people. God is love, and love is why. So I'm asking you to be praying with me. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, Christway. It is going to be a great day. Like, comment, and share, and let's get ready to worship.
Christway, what is up? I'm James Howard, and next week is the big welcome back party. We've got lots to talk about. It's time for you to be in the know. Beginning next week, there will be 3 services, 8:45, 10, and 11:15. Now, this means that our live stream time will change. We'll be on Facebook Live at 10 beginning next week. Now, if you normally catch us at 9:15, you can sleep an extra 45 minutes. We are so excited to be back in the building next week, and we are just as excited to have those of you who want to continue to worship with us on Facebook. Just remember, starting next week, that's at 10. 8:45 at the Worship Center, 10 o'clock in the Worship Center, and online. 11:15 in the Worship Center. Got it? We can't wait to see you. Just so you know, the living room will be open next week. I know some of you don't know what we mean by the living room. I mean, right now you're probably watching this from your living room. Now, the living room here at Christway is a place for prayer. You can have someone in the living room pray with you. They'll help you walk through Scripture. They are there to pray with you and for you with whatever is going on in your life and in your walk with God. Now, for those of you who are catching the live stream, we have a way for you to connect with the living room team, sort of a digital living room, I guess. Text the word PRAY to 423-455-8818 and let us know how we can be praying for you. Remember the website, christwaychurch.org. There you can find out all about the living room, as well as those special service times next week. And as a matter of fact, lots of info about our welcome back party that's happening next week. I can't wait. I'm James Howard. You are in the know.
Hey, I'm Laura. I miss everybody and I can't wait for the welcome back party next week. This next song we are going to sing, Stand in Your Love, is one of my favorite songs. 1 John 4, verse 18 says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment." I struggle with thoughts a lot. Thoughts of shame and pain from my past that bring sad and sorrow and fear into my head. But I know those thoughts are not from God. When I sing this song, I declare again how God's perfect love has broken the chain of sin and shame. The life that I'm living right now is the resurrected life that Jesus gave to me, and I'm standing in His perfect love.
When darkness tried to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know, I won't be shaken. Oh, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Shame no longer has a place to hide.
Hey, good morning, Christway. This is a great morning for me because this is the last Sunday morning I'm having to preach to an empty room. Because many of you will be back with us next Sunday, and I'm excited to see many of you as we start our journey back to the gathering. Now, this morning, we're continuing on a series we started last week, and if you didn't get a chance to see that, go back and check that out. We started a series last week called He Did It First. And that's the reason. Why do we do what we do is because He did it first. You see, that's the very heartbeat of our faith, really. You see, Christ is not one of those who said, hey, do's and don'ts, right? He's not just someone who has rituals and all the do's and don'ts. More or less, Jesus' invitation to you and I, which makes following Christ so special. His invitation to you and I is follow me, right? That's the reason. It's not a religion, because religions are the do's and the don'ts and the rituals, but Jesus had one invitation. He says, follow me, because He did it first. He says, forgive the way I forgave you. And we talked about that last week. He's like, I want you to learn how to forgive one another. And well, how do we forgive? The way I forgave you. How do we love one another? The way I loved you. And so Christ would say, the way that I have shown you. And so that's the difference. Their religions and following Christ is a difference. That's the reason we're called followers. It's because there's a whole new mindset. He did it first. And that's why we do. And so this morning, we're kind of going at a different direction, and it's really going to be fun this morning, because this morning we're going to be talking about Judas betrayed Jesus with clean feet, which is kind of a unique mindset. But many of you know the story of when Jesus washed the disciples' feet. If not, we're going to walk through that. But a lot of times, because we've heard it, maybe even when we were in VBS or when we were children, we heard it, and we have a mindset, kind of like the painting of the Last Supper. We have this mindset that it was this picturesque thing, right? There was this kumbaya moment where everything was lovely and everyone was just having a heartfelt moment. But in all reality, that's not how it was. This morning, I'm inviting you to kind of take a realistic look at what it was happening. You see, there they were at the Last Supper, and they were having supper, but it was a Jewish tradition. No one would ever eat a meal without walking into the house and having their feet washed. You see, when you walked into a house, the servant of the house, whoever the servant was, would wash your feet. That was just what they did. And you would never sit at the table unless you had had your feet washed. But here we have a bunch of men. And Jesus had given the instructions to Peter and John to go and make ready the meal. So you guys go and make it ready. And so they did. They felt like, hey, I got the meat, we got the different things, elements. But when everybody came together, I'm sure as they're enjoying the meal, somebody's looking around, more than likely all of them, looking around going, so who's going to wash our feet? There's just this awkwardness, that's in the room. It's like, well, what do we do? Are we going to just start the meal, but nobody's going to wash our feet? And so they're probably looking around at one another saying, well, Peter and John, I mean, they're the ones who put this together. I mean, did y'all not think about having someone here to wash our feet? Where is the servant that's going to wash our feet? Well, they had no servant there. So then they began to look around. Peter and John, they're kind of feeling a little defensive too. And it's like, John's like, I'm not washing y'all's feet. John's like, I've seen James' feet. James got some fungus going on in some of those toenails. I'm not touching that, And Peter's like, well, I'm not washing. Get Bartholomew, right? Bartholomew, nobody even heard of him, right? He's not going to even make the Bible if he don't do something really quick. So they're all kind of looking around at who is going to wash the feet. Who will be the servant. So they look around. Who's going to do it? Well, many of you know the story. Jesus, the Lord, gets up from the table and goes and washes all of the disciples' feet. Now, here's the key. One of the things we need to realize is he washes all of their feet. I mean, all of them. He didn't just pick the ones that he liked. He didn't just pick the ones that, hey, this one's going to do really good. This one's not going to do really good. He washed everyone's feet. Because in that room, he would have said, hey, Philip, I know, in actually just a few minutes from now, you're actually going to deny my deity. But he washes his feet. He would go, Peter, wait a minute. Tonight, this very night, you're going to deny even knowing me 3 times. But he washes his feet. He'd look over at Thomas and say, Thomas, you're going to doubt my resurrection. But he washes his feet. And he washes Judas's feet as he walks out the door to betray him to death. You see, at this table was a very, 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 I would say, a diverse gathering sitting at the same table. I mean, think about this. What a diverse gathering. Jesus is like, I'm washing everyone's feet. The betrayers, the deniers. I'm washing the tax collectors' feet, the fishermen's feet. This is a very diverse gathering sitting at the same table. And Jesus washes their feet. Whew. Man, I'm sure while this is going on, every one of them saying, oh, I should have. But as we look at the scripture, it tells us this in John. He says, when he had washed their feet and put his outer garment and resumed his place, he said to them, do you understand what I have done to you? I mean, there's a question mark there, but nobody answers. There's a silence in the room. Jesus is saying, do you understand? And everyone's like, yeah. We understand that we should have done that. We understand that we dropped the ball. But Jesus is like, no, do you understand what I've done for you? I'm sure after silence and no one answers, Jesus continues. You call me teacher and Lord, and you're right, for that's who I am. But Jesus is not about lip service. He's not about saying, oh, God, you're so good, but not following him. I'm going to put my faith in you, but I'm going to walk a different direction. See, Jesus is not about lip service. He's about follow me. The way I'm leading you, follow me. Ooh, this is getting intense. So he goes on. He says, if I then, your Lord, teacher, I've washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. Well, they're probably looking around going, well, they're all kind of clean now. I mean, you did a pretty good job. But that's not his point. He's saying, no, you don't understand. I just washed your feet. It's kind of like what we do as Christians today, right? We like to, one of the things we like to do is say, hey, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. Jesus says, well, how about this? How about actually doing it? Hey, I'm going to pray that someone meets your needs. Jesus may be saying, why don't you meet their needs? Jesus said, you're not understanding what I'm done. If this is the way you're addressing it, people look at me. Come here. If this is the way you're looking at it, you're missing the point of what just happened in this room. And Jesus takes it deeper. He says, for I have given you an example example that you also should do just as I have done for you. Jesus says, okay, I did it first because he did it first. You and I are called to do it too. You see, we're called, you and I, to walk in the same footsteps that Jesus has set before us. And you and I, listen, Christway, you and I get the opportunity to put that into action next Sunday right here. You and I are going to sit at the table. Many of us are going to sit at the table as a diverse gathering. And there's going to be people from different places. And in our journey back to the gathering, people are going to be in different places in their journey back to the gathering. But you and I get the opportunity to show Christ to all of them. Now, I know in your minds, you who are ready to get back, you've got the people in your mind you hope you see. But I want to let you know, there's going to be a great number of people here at Christway next Sunday that have never been here. You see, what you and I need to understand is over these number of weeks, we've had a large number of people joining in with us online. And now they're excited to join in with you in the gathering. You see, there's a lot of people that are going to be here who you've never seen before. And if you're some of those people and you're watching this morning and you're looking forward to actually being back with us and actually meeting these people, we are going to show you what Christway is all about. Because here at Christway, this is a people who love Jesus. And love is why Jesus died for us, and our love for him is why we're going to show you the grace and the love of Christ. You see, here at Christway, there's going to be a number of people who are at different places on their journey back to the gathering, and we want to be ready. Now, here at Christway, we've also made a lot of adjustments here on our campus to prepare for you. You see, we want you to make sure that you have the Christway experience where we show the love of Jesus to everyone. But at the same time, we want to make sure that you're safe and that everything is ready for you. Now, in order to do that, I've asked a friend of mine to walk you through all of the adjustments we've made here on our campus to prepare for you to come back to the gathering in a safe way. So walk along with him. Okay, Christway, as we get here Sunday morning for the welcome back party, I want to tell you, we're asking everyone to come into the main entrance. Now, if you're new here, you may not know where that is. It's actually in the back of the building where the main parking lot is. We're asking everyone to come in the main entrance, and as you come in the main entrance, you don't have to worry about touching doors, okay? Because they'll do it, all the work for you. Hey, now our bistro is going to be open that Sunday morning, but if you're wanting biscuits and breakfast, you're going to have to get that on your way to church because we're not going to be serving those things. The only thing that we'll be serving here in the bistro is going to be cold drinks. And so they will be serving you cold drinks, but they're going to be serving you like this so that you can take it from the top. Also, they'll have a separate person handling money for you and making sure everything is continually disinfected. Now, our coffee stations will not be open, but here in the bistro, we're going to be offering cold coffee. So if you need to get your caffeine on, you can do it in that way. Okay, on that morning, our water fountains will not be operational, but by every set of water fountains, we're going to have tables with water bottles for you just to take with you whenever you want. Now, if you drink many of these, you're going to need to go to the restroom. But don't worry about it. All of our restrooms will be open, doors open. Nobody needs to touch a door. They'll be sanitized continually so to make sure that everything is ready. Hey, for you first-time guests, we want you to know that you are so welcomed. And so when you get here, there's a place here. It's called Connection Central, and there'll be people there to give you directions, help you feel comfortable in every way here at Christway. Hey, starting out the first few weeks, our preschool Wahoo will not be open. And our Treehouse Kids Ministry also won't be open just the first few weeks. But We're going to have things for them to be able to do inside the worship service, and the worship services are only going to be 50 minutes long. So make sure if you got kids, come through this area so that you can grab your things from the people, and they will make sure you have plenty of things and to do while you are in the service with your kids. Now, our bistro area, we love being together, but we have removed a lot of the tables to create proper distancing to make everyone feel comfortable. Also, while you're in the worship service, all hard surfaces are going to be sanitized. So while you're in there, they're going to be sanitizing out here. And while you're in here, we'll be sanitizing out there. Now, just to make sure that everything is sanitized in between each service. Now, here in the worship center, you're going to notice that these rows have been placed 6 feet apart. That is to give you proper distancing in between each row. Also, we won't be passing these on Sunday mornings, okay? And you may go, well, wait a minute, isn't that part of worship? It is. But we're going to have some areas where you can place your offering around the worship center at your own convenience as a family. Now, you may say, well, what about masks? We invite you to wear a mask if you feel comfortable wearing a mask. Now, we're excited about everything that's going to happen this coming Sunday morning, but I've also got another really exciting thing I want to show you. Hey, over the number of weeks, we've been running our live stream, and it's been amazing, and you guys have been very involved. But we've been using the equipment, the technical equipment in our worship center in order to do that. But as we open back up here at Christway, we're going to have to use that equipment back in our worship center again. So Christway has made an investment in this room. This room has been placed over on the side, and we've invested in all the equipment that we'll need so that we can have worship service here and live stream it to you in your home. For you who feel, I'm not ready to come back yet, we've invested in you to make sure that you feel connected. So this is a gift to you to make sure that you have the option to watch from home when you want to. We're excited about this new addition, and we're excited about what God is going to do next week. So with that, I'll pass it back to your speaker. Man, he did a good job, didn't he? And that's the things that we have done to prepare for you to be back with us on campus. You see, we're excited to have you back, and we're going to make sure the table is ready. Because here at Christway, one of the things that we celebrate here, and if you haven't ever been here, one of the things you'll see as well is just like the table that Jesus had, here at Christway, we have a diverse gathering sitting at the same table. And that you are going to see that when you come here to Christway. You're going to find that there's lots of young people. There's lots of older people here. There's lots of people who have been on the journey with Christ for a long time. But we also have a lot of new Christians as well. You're going to see that we are a diverse gathering here at Christway from all parts of the world. You're going to see that. But as part of a diverse gathering, we have to realize that many of us are on different places on our journey back to the gathering. We're at different places. Some of us are running a little faster than the others. So we have to understand that we as the gathering, just like Jesus' table, we've got to realize there's a diverse gathering. And we've got to understand and have the heart that Christ did. He said he set the example for us. Next week, we're going to get the opportunity to see what that's like. Now, our staff has thought about this, and we see it very much like a traffic light. You see, when you go to a traffic light, most of us know what to do when we get to a traffic light, right? If it's red, right? We stop. If you don't stop, then you're going to run into a bad situation. So if it's red, all of us know you stop, right? If it's green, right, all of us know you go. And if you're one of those people who are hitting the brake light at a green light, I'm the one who's right on your bumper, okay? So we know when it's green, you go. But when it's yellow, a lot of us have a different look. Some of us, when we're coming up to a yellow light, we're pumping the brakes, or we're putting our foot on the brakes, kind of getting ready to stop. Some of us, when we see a yellow light, man, that just means accelerate. Let's go. Let's get faster. You see, we kind of hit at different places when we come to a yellow light. And that's where we are as a gathering. You see, as our journey back to the gathering, we're very much at a point where we're like the yellow light. Some of us are hitting the brakes, and some of us are hitting the gas. So we have to realize we've got to proceed with caution. Because here at Christway, there are going to be those who are at the red light, okay? Because from our survey that you did last week, we realized about 40% of you are going to continue to stay at home. And we want you to know you are still part of our gathering, and we totally understand. And I appreciate your comments as you put down, hey, I'm going to be staying at home. We have a child who's at risk, or maybe we're over 65 and we're at risk, or maybe you've shared, hey, we've got young kids and we just don't know that they are ready to be back in the gathering without having childcare. So we understand, but we are working hard to make sure that you feel connected to our gathering, even though you're not ready to come back. Because eventually you're going to be ready to come back and join in with us. But until then, we want you to know we totally understand, and we want to make every opportunity you feel connected. You are also going to be online with us at 10 o'clock, and we're going to celebrate watching you be a part of us. But some people we're still at the red light. Now, at this point, Christway, none of us are at the green light. Okay, green light means you're just going, and you don't have caution, you're not hit, but you're just going. And we're not there yet. Eventually, we're going to be at the green light. Everybody's going and enjoying and experiencing everything. But right now, for most of us who are coming back, we're at the yellow light. We are proceeding with caution, okay, and understanding that even at the yellow light, the 60% who are going to be coming back next Sunday, still understand, with that 60%, there are some who they've got their foot on the brake, and they're like, I'm coming back and I'm excited to be with everybody, but I'm still very cautious. I need you to give me my space. I need you to make sure that you are respecting my space. And for you, we want to make sure we're making everything ready for you so that you feel comfortable being back with the gathering. But all of us need to understand we're at different places on our journey back to the gathering. Now, some of you, you're hitting the green and you're ready to go. And it's like, man, I am over this. I am over all the corona. I am over everything. Let's just get back together and proceed. Listen, I understand you. Believe me, I understand you. But I'm just going to ask you to be patient as well, to be mindful of those who are at the gathering who may not be at that place where you are yet, okay? So be mindful of them and respectful of them, and understand that we are all at different places on our journey, just like Jesus' table. Our table is very much diversified, different places on the journey. So I'm asking you just to be patient with them. Be patient with all of us as we move back and towards the gathering, and we show the love of Christ to each other, because our table is very diversified. But Jesus showed us how to wash one another's feet. He showed us how to love one another. He showed us how to respect one another. And he showed us how to care for one another. You see, how do we know how to do this so well? It's all about his example.
Walking around these walls, I thought by now they'd fall. but you have never failed me yet. Waiting for change to come, knowing the battle's won, for you have never failed me yet. Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, and this is my confidence. You never failed me yet. And I know the night won't last, 'cause your word will come to pass. My heart will sing your praise again. Jesus, you're still enough. Keep me within your love. Oh, my heart will sing your praise again. Oh, your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, and this is my confidence. You never fail. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, and this is my confidence. You never failed me yet. You never failed. I've seen you move the mountain, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way where there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. I've seen you move the mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. And made a way where there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. I've seen you move the mountain, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way where there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. I'll see you do it again. Oh, your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, and this is my confidence. You never
Christway, as we journey back to the gathering, remember that no matter where you're at on this thing, that we have to show love to each other because Jesus did it first. We can't wait to see you next week in this room or online. Have a great week.